Welcome to Classic Car Ninjas, the YouTube channel for classic and retro vehicles. I'm Richard.
And I'm Toby. And today, Richard, we're looking at the most quintessential of British classic car marques. I'm talking about, of course, the Rolls-Royce.
I do love the old rollers.
I believe the purists call them Royces, Richard.
Oh yes, I have heard that. I do apologise.
That's okay.
Sorry, I call them rollers and you, yeah, okay.
Anyway, if you remember 10 to 15 years ago, if you had a budget of around £10,000 to £15,000, you'd rush down to your local newsagent, Richard, get yourself a copy of Auto Trader, and buy yourself a very nice Silver Shadow.
Yes.
However, in 2024, very nice Silver Shadows cost twice that now, and the very best even more again. So if you have the same budget of around £10,000 to £15,000, you're going to be looking at the Silver Shadows replacement. I'm of course talking about the Rolls-Royce Silver Spirit, or in this case, a Rolls-Royce Silver Spur.
What's the difference between the two then? Spirit, Spur, to me they look the same.
They do look the same. The difference is actually on the back door. There's an additional 4 inches of legroom in the Silver Spur. It was actually aimed at the chauffeur-driven market. The captain of industry who's going to be driven around reading the Financial Times, sitting in the back, needs room to be able to hold out his broadsheet newspaper. And the extra 4 inches makes all the difference in the back.
As they say.
Can't say that, Richard.
These were in production for quite a while, weren't they? Because I remember back then there was quite a few around.
Yeah, these actually had a very long lifespan by modern car standards today. This was brought out in 1980, and you could buy a version of this car right up until 1998.
What's this model?
This one is a really, really nice one we've got here that luckily we've had for the last couple of days. This is a 1990 Silver Spur Mark II.
Nice. We spent a couple of days with this car and let's show you how we got on.
Now, people always say everyone in life should drive a Rolls-Royce at least once. Now, I'm lucky, I've driven a lot of Rolls-Royces, and I've driven lots of great cars, and I have to say, there is no greater occasion or sense of occasion than driving a Rolls-Royce, whether you're driving them to Tesco to pick up a bottle of milk, or you're driving across country, and nothing makes a statement like a Rolls-Royce. This car is actually a 1990 Silver Spur Mark II. So we're filming this in 2024. So this car is 34 years old, and it turns heads like you're driving a lime green Lamborghini. And I'm talking everyone looks when you're driving a Rolls-Royce. Young mums pushing their prams, guys walking their dogs, people on push bikes. And the reaction from other drivers is great. People wave to you, they flash their lights at you, they give you a thumbs up. I get a few negative ones suggesting I need to go and have some Nescafe Gold Blend from the old hand signal they're giving me, but you know, you will get that from time to time. But wow, you get a commanding view of the road, following the iconic Flying Lady. This is a really, really special car to be in. And what's amazing about these cars, this is 1990. If you have a 1990 Ford Sierra 1.6, you'll probably be paying 12 or 15 grand for it. Here, you're in a car that at the time in 1990, this car, I know the list price of this car was £20 shy of 100 grand. It was 99,980 the first owner paid for this car, and it's made of the best, the finest leather seats, glorious dashboard, the best of the best this car is. And yet you park it next to as I say, a 1.6 Sierra from 1990 at an auction, and the Sierra is going to get far more attention, and I would dare to say far more money at the auction at the auction as well. And that to me is insanity, because this car is on another level, and you can pick these things up for like 7 or 8 grand. Now I have seen some at 7 or 8 grand, and they will probably cost you a little bit of money to get up to scratch. But this car, which I assume would have a forecourt value of around, £15,000, and I can't see what you could get for 15 grand that commands the attention as this does, that drives as well as this does, that looks as good as this does. What a great car.
Well, you certainly liked driving that one.
I certainly did. Having spent a couple of days with this fantastic car, I can tell you I'm completely sold on it. It drives incredibly well. The levels of comfort are on a different level to anything I've been with in the past. The car just attracts so much attention, and all very positive attention. I think if you're driving an orange Lamborghini, people are going to be giving you all sorts of hand signs and all sorts of hand signals.
Yeah.
But I have to say, driving this car, it's nothing but positive energy from everyone who saw it.
That's true, actually. You got a good thumbs up, not bad. Yeah.
And I would say, what a lovely place to spend a couple of days on a long journey. It must be absolutely fantastic.
What about the running costs?
Well,
truthfully,
I mean, the running costs are always going to be poor. The miles per gallon, the best you're going to be looking at is maybe 15, 16, and around town when we were using it, the petrol light was coming on all the time.
Yeah.
So I think the petrol, the MPG is around 10 to the gallon if you're driving around town, and as I said, you might get longer if you were going on a longer journey. Running costs, I mean, most of these cars these days are not used as everyday cars anymore. People are using them as a second car or a third car in certain cases. So the insurance is of course reduced. We got an insurance quote on this for me, and it came to £280 based on a 3,000 mile a year policy.
So you get an insurance quote, would you drive one? Would you own one?
I would say if I had £10,000 to £15,000 spare and space on my driveway, I would certainly be looking for a Rolls-Royce Silver Spur or a Silver Spirit, depending on what was available at the time. But I would say this is a fantastic car. So the question for you, Richard, would you buy one?
Not really my cup of tea. Lovely car, but I'm into the sporty numbers. Something Italian, probably.
Something Italian,
yeah, something Italian would be nice, wouldn't it, in a sports car? But I do appreciate these cars, and it's a lovely car, and it's, quintessential English.
Quintessentially English, absolutely. Yes. Okay, now, in our next episode, I've got something that might be a bit more up your street, actually, Richard.
Ooh, okay.
If I said to you, European, convertible, four-seater, what manufacturers did you think of?
Well, you got the obvious, Mercedes, BMW, Saab.
Well, join us next time and all will be revealed. Thank you very much for watching the Classic Car Ninjas. From Richard and myself, cheerio.
Goodbye. Adios. Ciao.